You know, there's a lot of stuff coming up in these upcoming updates, and so I wanted to make a video similar to what I did back in 3.7, just making my general plans on what is happening. So, pull plans, what characters I plan on pulling, what Eidolon level, what dupe, investment, whatever, so on and so forth. Just a chill video to get out, just because, you know, there's not really much else to talk about right now, so yeah, we're doing that.
Stuck grinding in Honkai Star Rail? Need Stellar Jades fast? We've got you covered. Head over to U7 Buy, your ultimate gaming hub for save fast and cheap in-game top-ups. Whether it's Star Rail or your other favorite games, U7 delivers instantly and players love it. Check out their Trustpilot reviews, they're actually top ranked. On the Honkai Star Rail direct top-up page, you can recharge your account in seconds. For example, 8080 Ononeric shards cost $99.99 in the official store, but on U7 Buy, you can see here it's way cheaper. Just pick your server, enter UID, pay securely, and boom, your account is instantly loaded. Want extra savings? Use code PRETSR at checkout for 5% off, perfect for last minute pulls, battle passes, or surprising a friend. And here's a bonus. If you spend $80 a month on U7 Buy, you can grab the Honkai Star Rail Express Pass for only 1 cent, which is nearly free. Click on the link in my description, recharge fast, save more, and keep blazing those trails.
So first, of course, talking about the known info, we do know the character in 4.1 and also the elephant in the room, ashveil. I am so unbelievably hyped for this character. I cannot wait to pull him. Already based off the 4.0 story alone, I love this guy. He's so silly to the point it's actually genuinely funny. His reveal was really funny and also cool. He's definitely going to be a character that also has a deep backstory with a little bit of stuff we got. You know, more into him about being a detective, more stuff he's been through in his life. I already know he's going to be a really cool character talked about and also just going to have raw backstory, probably a sad backstory, so like why he's just kind of silly as he is. But then also just going to a part where he's probably really serious and he's going to be cool. Of course, I also play on Japanese. He has a Dios VA. Kono Dio da! That is so raw, bro. Dios VA is legendary. The fact they gave that to him is also just a big cherry on top because ashveil, his design is sick. He's a part of the boys, so you know he's gonna be cool. And to top it all off, they gave him such a goated legendary VA. It's just win after win after win. But besides him in story, actual gameplay wise, and from what he does seem to be, him being a follow-up attack character is an automatic plus. I love follow-up attack. It's probably, not even probably, it is my favorite archetype in the game. Nothing has ever come close to follow-up attack for me. And we're finally getting another one before this, the last actual proper character on that team. Or just within that aspect, besides just like, yo, we do this, and then we happen to have a follow-up attack like Gedalia, that doesn't count, was Cypher, and that was the last addition the follow-up team got. Unfortunately, it seems like ashveil, for the most part, is not going to be on the follow-up team, and functions on his own team, at least until a future character that works good with him comes out. But even as a follow-up hyper carry character, just a hyper character to use, he is so goddamn cool and looks so goddamn fun. I could probably make this entire video talking about ashveil, so I am personally probably going to be E6ing ashveil. I can already assume he's probably going to be my favorite character in the early 4.x. Right now it's Yaguang, but that's also because she's mainly actually involved in the stuff. ashveil is more of a side character, but then in 4.1 he's going to be, you know, more of the focus. It's the patch that he's out, so he's definitely going to be the focus. And I'm going to guess he's going to become my favorite. And I can run a lot of whack teams with him. You guys have seen me run a lot of whack teams. It's probably in the background footage too. I'm going to do a lot with him. I'm probably going to E6 him. I'm going to have a blast. Maybe I'll stream it again. Maybe I'll make it a video. I don't know yet. I probably will stream it. We'll see. Comment down below if you want to stream. We will have to see. But yeah, ashveil, I'm super hyped. Now for the anniversary patch, probably going to be the Silver Wolf SP as the main push, and then Evanescia. I might genuinely be a part of the minority when I do say this, but I am not hyped at all. I never, I don't dislike Silver Wolf, but I never really cared about Silver Wolf, and the fact that she's the main push to me is like, whatever. And then on the flip side, Evanescia, that's the Yai XP, I never really was a Yai big fan either. And I played Honkai 3rd, that's why I love Emphoria so much. But yeah, unfortunately, just was a character I never necessarily cared about. Of course, her in this game, she does seem to be very different personality-wise, so maybe I'll end up liking her. But just going off initial stuff, Silver Wolf, she's probably going to be the same character for the most part. Like, I'm gonna assume most of these SPs are just gonna be, you know, themselves for the most part, except Sparkle, kind of, but even though that's kind of the same thing, but that's also because, you know, it's a different Sparkle. Oh! Because they are the same character besides that one case. So, for the most part, I expect Silver Wolf to be the same. She's gonna be a main DPS for Relation. You might be like, bro, you E6 Yaguang, why would you not pull the main character that she might be for? I don't care. When have you seen me using Yaguang as an actual support? She is the DPS. If Silver Wolf had buffing potential for Yaguang, sure. But you know, if it's all the way around, no. Yaguang is the DPS for me. And you will simply accept that fact. Oh, I completely skipped over Sparxie because I forgot. I might genuinely not summon for Sparxie either, just because she's right before ashveil. That's really the only reason. If she wasn't right before ashveil, I probably would pick her up just because she's a super good punchline generator for my Yao Guang. So my Yao Guang can do a lot of damage outside of the force proc ult from Yao Guang. Because otherwise, without that, it's not like that much damage. Because even with the help of enemies, the punchline only goes up to like 20 to 30. Without them, it's usually around 10. So it's like not much if it's not the force proc ult. It's still in the millions, which is crazy, but with a team of Sparxie, Yao Guang, Sparkle, and then like Cypher or Chibi, I could literally just be buffing Yao Guang with Sparkle and just use the skill points generated from Sparkle, since Yao Guang doesn't really use them on Sparxie just to generate the punchline. That's really it. Sparxie Lycon also does increase elation damage by letting them ignore defense, so there's that. And then just the whole punchline generation. That's the only reason I want her. Otherwise, I would legit not bother. I never was an actual Sparkle fan, and that's funny because once we got to 4.0, I did the story, I ended up liking Sparkle like a good amount more, but then Sparxie was into the fray, and I don't like Sparxie. I found her pretty annoying, so I know it's the nature of the character, it's just not for me. So it's just like a whole trend thing I probably just would not pull if it wasn't for the fact that she wasn't such a good punchline generator. But since she is before ashveil, I might just end up not pulling in general just because it's a lot of summons. I am set up pretty goodly, like look, my light cone is guaranteed. I don't have any pity on character, unfortunately, but I also have like 230 pulls. So there's a chance maybe I'll throw a few pulls, see if I can get an early, sneaky early, see what happens. But yeah, for Sparxie, I don't know, but her playstyle is pretty fun, I guess. I always did like SP hungry characters, they're pretty fun. I had a blast with Danheng IL, Archer especially, QQ, the beta user, she's relatively fun. Definitely the most boring out of the bunch, so in my opinion. And Sparxie, she's still up there, she's fun. But yeah, we'll have to see. Anyway, now I already talked about Silver Wolf before that, funny. But then yeah, evanescia, I don't know. I'll have to see more about her in the story, which of course we'll have to wait for 4.2. Since she does seem very different from the others, which makes sense. Yai in Honkai 3rd is different. That one's also different from Genshin. That one's also different from Starl. So there's a good chance that maybe they end up making the one in Starl one I actually like. So far, she is pretty chill. Like, I don't dislike her by any means, but I never really disliked Yai. I just don't care. But yeah, we'll have to see. So the most part of them probably being DPSs. That's another thing I don't care because, like I said, my Yao Guang is the DPS of the team. If they're DPS that have a form of buffing someone else, maybe then I could just make my Yao Guang do more damage. Since Yao Guang inherently is nerfed by the fact of no other relation characters helping with punchline generation or anything. So I'm going to probably pull them. I'm probably going to get them E0S1, just both, just off an initial, even if I don't like end up caring about them. Just to, you know, have them. And then if it came to dupes with them, it really depends on how much they would help my Yao Guang's damage. That's really it. That's my big criteria. So yeah, I am a bit reversed here. Usually people would pull Yao Guang for the characters. It's the opposite. I'm pulling them for Yao Guang. We'll see. But yeah, I probably will go E0S1 double for them, plus the pack resets in Anniversary. So that will be more on the easy side. So yeah, as you can see from what we do know, Sparxie, iffy. I'll do a few pulls. We'll see. Maybe I'll just pick her up on a rerun for my Yao Guang. ashveil, probably gonna E6. That guy is so goddamn cool. Silver Wolf, probably E0S1. Same thing with evanescia, probably E0S1. Now, we know nothing about reruns, but if there were someone to rerun, I don't really know what I'd do. I really was kind of set on getting E2 and S1 for Downing Permanent Terror when he reran, just because I couldn't get him when he released, because right before him, I E6 S5'd Evernight. Right after him, I pulled E2 for Castress, so I pulled 2 copies of Castress. I pulled 7 Sirens and her Lycone. I pulled 3 Hyacinths and her Lycone. That was a little too much pulling for my like. Downing, you couldn't really be added onto that. And I do want to get it because he would be able to enable a lot of funny stuff I could do. And just, you know, he's just a general really good sustain. So, yeah, for teams where maybe I can run someone on plate, that E2 would go crazy. But he would have to rerun at a good time. Like, he'd have to rerun during the anniversary banners. If he reruns during the anniversary banners and I only end up going like E0 on them, I probably will go for E2 Dawning. Otherwise, I think everyone else in the game I am not going to get. I'm missing Firefly, I'm missing Rappa, I'm missing the Dahlia, I'm missing the Herda. These are 4 characters I probably never will get. I don't really have a use for them. I don't like their playstyles, really. I like the Herda and Rappa as characters. I don't really care about the Dahlia, and I don't like Firefly at all. So it probably will stay that way. That practically does bring this to an end. That's my personal plans for 4.2, really, leading up to what we know. So whatever's rest of 4.0, then 4.1, 4.2, any bit of reruns that we potentially could have. So, just a fun video. If you found it enjoyable to watch, watching me yap, I guess, dropping a like would be greatly appreciated. If you're new to the channel or haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon for future videos like this, along with all the types of style content, and I'll see you later. Peace out.